It's now 3 a.m. Well, oh, yeah, 4:30. Woken up by huge gusts of wind. Tarp getting lifted up off the tent. And it's not looking good out there. Really heavy gusts out of the west. Royce is unperturbed. Oh boy. Well, this is not good. The wind has really come up very, very strongly from the west. Wish this was daylight to deal with this, and I didn't have a giant log in the wood stove right now. So I'm going to have to make a decision in the coming while, as this is probably going to get worse over the next 24 hours, as to what to do with this vestibule here. This tent can be brought down, like this whole vestibule area does not have to be here. It can be anchored down and for a better position for wind. We just would lose the heat. I think what I might have to do, might not be immediately, will be to lessen the height of the front vestibule, which would be fine. It just means that I have to move the wood stove piping. Right now it's scalding hot to the touch. There is a log in there. Once I can lower that, then I can put some weights at the bottom of the vestibule here, and kind of hold it down as the wind is howling. So we'll see what today brings. I don't know. I was hoping to do a little bit more hikes, but I may actually have to stay here and mind this tent and figure this out. We've had heavy wind with the tents before, and it's been fine. What we've had to do is, like I said, lower the height on the vestibule and then pack snow on the skirt, just to kind of keep it from kind of catching air underneath and picking the whole thing up. So far I went outside and I checked all the stakes. They're holding. All the guy lines are holding. Everything like that is fine. I mean, the steady state of the wind isn't bad. It's just when we get these crazy gusts, and I think it's going to get far worse throughout the day today, and the direction is not helping me. It's coming from the west where I'm a little bit more exposed. Yesterday it was southwest, so I had the forest behind me there just buffering a lot of this. But right now I've got a little bit coming off the lake, and also this is my fireproof blanket for the wood stove, so as this kind of touches, it's not a big deal. It's just when it kind of comes from behind me and pushes it this way, like that, it does kind of protect it, but this is crazy. You can hear all the, there we go, snow coming off the trees and stuff on the tarp. I'm so glad I placed that tarp last night. Oh, here we go, here it comes. Yeah, I think it's 4:30 in the morning. I am awake for the day. Good thing I slept pretty well last night. Alright, I just looked at the Windy app and I'll show you guys what I'm looking at here. So you can see the wind's going to be pretty strong, pretty steady. I don't mind the steady state, but take a look at some of those gusts as we approach later on into Monday, when another weather system is coming in. We're getting up to over 70 km/h gusts. That it'd be no fun. There'd be no way. I'd have to just basically dampen down this tent in the front and live in the back half of it for sure. I mean, it can be done. That's what these tents are designed for. But I'm leaving Monday tomorrow. I'm going to have to get out of here in the morning before this weather comes in. We're only allowed to be here to the park till 2 anyway. I mean, I think for the rest of the day you can, poke around the park, but at this site for sure, no later than 2. So that should be okay, but taking down the tent will be amazing. The crazy wind gusts. So anyway, might as well just start my day, have a little bit of tea for the long morning ahead, straightening this out. And when I head out this morning, I'm just going to have to make sure that the stove is definitely not on, and that it's sort of all battened down here, because I don't want to be come back to my tent someplace else when I go for a hike today. Well, good morning, everyone. It is 7 in the morning, and I'm hunkered down. So I made a run for it at about 6 a.m. and lowered the front of the tent just by a bit. And then I put a whole bunch of snow on the little parts of the wall that had sunk down and made kind of like a little skirt, and put a lot of snow down there. There's a skirt at the back, but not at the front vestibule. So problem solved. Right now, it's a really bad storm right now. I'm really glad that I hunkered down. We're just gonna sit in the tent, make some breakfast. Hopefully this blows over. Kind of want to do a bit of a hike today, but we'll see. It might be partly a tent day. We'll find out. Right, Royce and I are having our breakfast. Mine's the same as yesterday, and I've just made him his breakfast, as well as I usually make a bit of hot, like egg, and put a little bit of cheese and a little bit of other stuff in there, and I'll put some like warm water in there. He just doesn't drink enough out here. He thinks he can just eat the snow, which is not okay. So I have to trick him that way. Want to keep him warm and hydrated and stuff like that. Yeah, he likes it too. He feels like he's included with the breakfast. So yeah, I'm gonna have my breakfast, and then we'll see. We'll probably have to take him for a little walk, and then get ready maybe to go on a hike. Well, we are the first people today at the Highland Backpacking Trail. So let's take a look. This is a pretty big trail, but we're just going to do little sections of it here. So there you go. Take a look at that. There is a waterfall that I want to go check out. Provoking Falls, I believe it's called. So yeah, this is going to be lots of fun. Oh, this is beautiful. So nice and quiet. Fresh fallen snow. Can't beat it. Say, I met another YouTuber here at the park just this morning. It's called Woman in the Woods. You want to follow her, Woman in the Woods 13. And that was really nice to meet you. Hello. Thanks so much for coming up and chatting with me this morning. I'm hoping you're having a great time here as much as I am. Oh, it's just great. Hopefully we'll see some wildlife today. What a fabulous day. Oh, a little bit of elevation to this trail. This is great. We'll have some good vistas. Neat having these little snow squalls come through. Very pretty. Some beautiful fungus with snow on it. Pretty soon it'll be foraging come spring. Very exciting. Well, it's really nice to see a lot of these really old, mature, old growth pines. Just gorgeous in here. It's a pretty steep hike, so just taking my time. We're gonna go to check out the falls next. So that'll be beautiful, I bet. That's how high up we are. It's a beautiful outlook here. Whoa, don't you dare. Beautiful view. We're actually hiking back towards the campground, believe it or not. I think the shortest walk would be from my campsite to Provoking Falls, but then you miss all this good stuff, so why would I do that? Very nice. So neat being the first person on the trail this morning. How cool is that? Heard a few goldfinches in the air. Chickadees as well. Definitely seeing a lot of fox tracks in here, rabbits. I should say this, the trail to Provoking Falls, you could actually get to from Mule Lake Campground. It's about like an 11-minute hike, but then you miss all this cool stuff. So it's really awesome to take it from the head of the Highlands Backpacking Trail. This is just an amazing hike, and I'm so glad I've done it. So this is where you gotta be careful. See here, there's some flowing water. We're getting close to the falls. So you wanna make sure you get off that. Ooh, it's a lot wider than I thought. You just don't wanna get a soaker out here and get cold. Oh, you have a snow bath. Sometimes if there's a good smell, he'll wanna roll or have a little snow bath. Oh, I'm getting soaked, that's why he's got his coat on too. He could also just be warm. Sometimes he'll do that when he's warm. And we've made it. What a beautiful spot. I hear that you can also swim here in the summertime, which would be kind of fun. Going down these little rapids here, little chutes. what a wonderful day. I do not regret coming a long way to this area. It is well worth the hike. On to our next adventure, but unfortunately I can't get into Whiskey Jack Rapids. The road is completely blocked and I'm not supposed to stop along the side of Highway 60 to park and hike in, so bummer. Well, let's find another trail. Alright, I drove all the way to the west end of the park. And yeah, the Whiskey Jack Trail, there's just no way I was going to get into those rapids. And the plow came and I did not want to be stuck on the road and in that person's way. So here we are at Bat Lake. Figured I'd check that out. We're going to go do a little bit different because it's quite a long trail for the time of day that it is right now. Because I had to make a quick fuel stop in Whitney because my gas was like literally on fumes. So yeah, we don't have another 3.5 hours to do this. So we're going to do the back half of the Bat Lake Trail. So hopefully we'll get to see another bog and maybe we'll make it up to Bat Lake. Couldn't ask for a better day. The sun is out. It was actually quite a nice drive, you know, even though I was on 60 a little longer than I wanted to be on the highway. You know, that's a prime place to kind of look at some of the habitat around here, like just peeking in at some of the little creeks and rivers and lakes and to see what can be available to me during other seasons. Looks like some of the trails are closed for wintertime. Like there's just no way. Sometimes you can drive into these little spots and it's not clear to me where you're allowed to park without getting towed. So didn't need that excitement. So yeah, we'll just go with the flow. It's kind of the theme of the trip. Wasn't planning on the windstorm, wasn't planning on a few things. So yeah, you just got to pivot and enjoy. There's a little wee rapids for you. Couldn't get the right trail that I wanted, but look at that. Beautiful little stream. Looks like we're on a little bridge going over it. Neat. Ooh, on the edge of that is watch out. That's kind of sketchy. Don't think about going for a swim. That's all I need. Dog to get wet. Heading along the bogs now. You can definitely see some telltale bog plants. Just gorgeous. Yeah, if you do that little psh, psh, psh sound, birds will materialize out of nowhere. I always do it when I'm hiking. It's sort of like an alarm call kind of thing, so when they hear a noise like that, they want to come on in and see what's going on. Let's talk about the lighting in here. My goodness, this is like golden hour lighting. It's perfect. Yeah, no whiskey jacks yet, just little chickadees around. But with the bogs and the spruce and stuff, I would think there'd be Canada jays in here. We'll see. I want to mention these boots right here, tree torn. They've been the real star of this trip, keeping my feet really warm. I was in Canadian Tire looking for new winter boots and, you know, just looking for the usual. And I just saw these boots sort of on the shelf and I thought, oh, that's kind of weird. Tree torn, what's that? Well, it turns out it's a Swedish company and they make winter boots. So they're awesome because they have really thick soles. So they keep your feet well off the ground, like about an inch above the ground. They're comfortable to walk on, and they're rubber, 100% rubber with neoprene at the top, and that makes a huge difference. I think you can even roll down the neoprene if you want a shorter boot. So yeah, I was like, get in my cart. So I have not regretted this decision. They're a little bit heavy, but super comfortable, not made my feet or my back hurt or anything like that. And I can also fit my duffel liners in there as well for extra warmth, like if it's like minus 25 or something like that. But these are super comfortable. You know, when it's minus 20 at the campsite, it was fine. So highly recommend, not sponsored for that, but the Tree Torn boots, what a great find at your local Canadian Tire. What is on your face? He's got a branch stuck to his beard. It's a Dutch name for these guys. Boulevard or something, like Dirty Beard. Too funny. That's what happens when a gust comes up. Got my hood on when I see that coming because I don't want that going down the back of my neck. It's gonna be freezing cold. And here's Bat Lake. Beautiful little lake. You can hear the ice popping. The sunlight on there. Great day. Look at this massive tree. Whoa. This is a grandmother tree. Look at this. Wow. Oh, amazing. Such a beautiful old soul in these woods. Yeah, this old white pine did not get cut down during the logging. It's forked, see? There's probably a lot of animals that can use this tree, like black bears can climb it. Pileated woodpeckers can live in some of the dead parts in the cavities. Amazing. Well, I'm back at the campsite. Thankfully, I'm back a bit early from my hike at Bat Lake. Got to batten down the hatches. Sort of fortified the tent. Got the stove going. Well, it is really toasty in here. A lot of you guys were asking about how those little compressed wood log things are doing. I've only used 2 on this trip. Both times it's been like, well, I've come back, I just want to start something up really fast. So what I do is I light up one of those compressed logs and I put in another hardwood log beside it, and it gives me hours of heat. They actually do heat the tent pretty well. You know, smaller the space, the warmer the temperature outside, obviously the better they'll work. But I've just used them as an assist a couple times, and I'm like, this is great. Why have I never done this before? So I just had a few sitting around in my garage, and that's why I did that past video there about, you know, do compressed logs have any utility for this kind of adventure? And I say they do, you know. If you're just tired and beat and you don't want to sit there and putz around getting a fire started, just light one of those little, you know, the logs I'm talking about are the ones that are in a paper wrap. Just light one of those up, and because it's compressed hardwood, it actually lasts a lot longer. And then just a regular piece of hardwood. So anyway, I don't use them solely for heating, but just for a quick start when you get back from a long hike and your bones are tired, works really well. Marcy had a little chew there, and now he's gonna like go to bed. He's had 2 big hikes today. I think he had a great time. Just trying to decide what supper's gonna be. Lunch today was just kind of snacks. It was jerky, cashew nuts, a couple of cookies. So tonight's dinner, I'm gonna make a really nice dinner for the long night ahead, because like I said, the storm is coming in overnight tonight, probably getting 7 to 12 centimeters over the course of an overnight tonight and into Monday. I'm gonna have to leave out of here. Well, technically we can be here by 2, but I gotta leave here by 11, 12, because after that it gets really, really dicey out here. The wind gusts are gonna be really, really strong, like in the 70 kilometers per hour. And I gotta be able to drive home in that. It's not gonna be good with the snow coming down. So thankfully I could deke off at the cabin if I need to, if it's getting really bad. But you know, hopefully hopefully I can be safe tomorrow. So I've organized the car already, so I'll just be taking the stuff down. I know it sounds like, oh, just take it down, like it takes a long time to take this down properly, but I'll have to move quickly, because with the weather and everything, I don't want everything, you know, really like wet that's inside the tent here, although I will be drying everything out. So Needless to say, I'm going to have a really nutritious dinner tonight. Let's take a look. Right, so I'm going to have roasted mashed potatoes. I'm going to probably have some mushrooms, again, pan fried. And then I've got a little bit of this Mexican style corn medley, and I've got ham. So this should be really good. This is just thawing out now. That was intentionally frozen. It was actually from Christmas. Right, so I'm kind of cooking my my peppers and mushrooms, just a little bit of broth here, just to cook them really well so they don't get all like burnt to the pan. And then I'll add my ham and do my mashed potatoes. All right, doesn't that look good? Got a little bit of mashed potatoes there as well, so my supper is ready. I think it's gonna be a little bit salty, but that's okay. I've been sweating on the trail, so don't want to get salt deficient, so it's gonna be good. Poor dog. He's like looking really sad, pathetic. He wants some more food. I give him a ton of food just before this, just for on the record here. Okay, there go boy. He's such a good camper. Oh, this is nice and hot and delicious. That is delicious. Wow. Just what I needed for a long day on the trails. Well, I just went out to go and do some dishes, and the stars tonight are amazing. So the snow is sort of settling down just for tonight, until 1 in the morning, I think. I can hear a little bit from the trees kind of coming on the rooftop. But the stars, oh my gosh, it's like natural darkness out here. So it's just beautiful. I took a picture, take a look. So yeah, I think this is a month where all the stars are kind of in alignment, or the planets rather are in alignment. That's really neat. I didn't have a chance to see that because right here it's like it's pretty treed obviously, so I'm just kind of seeing through the canopy a little bit, and I don't want to walk out in Mizzy Lake because in the dark I don't want to find like a soft spot or anything in the ice. That's super dangerous. But yeah, such a beautiful night. There's been a lot of really cool cosmic things this year. Like I've seen the Aurora Borealis more than I ever have in my entire life. That comet, that was pretty neat. I think we've had a few eclipses or whatever. That eclipse, yeah, that eclipse, that's we had this year too. My gosh, I forgot about that. That was crazy. But yeah, it's really nice to get out in an area where there's natural darkness. You got to try it sometime. Just battening down for the night, and I want to show you something that I bring with me on my winter camping trips. This is a handmade lotion bar that I made. And so, you know, it's really cold out. Regular lotion would just like freeze in the tube. So this is just a solid version of it. If you rub it between your hands, the warmth of your hands causes, you know, all the nice oils to kind of come out in your hands and keeps your skin nice and hydrated. Sometimes even doing this just to keep my lips nice and moist, because in the tent right now with the wood stove, it's really hot. So yeah, solid lotion bars. Doesn't matter if they freeze, as soon as they warm up in your hands, they're nice and, you know, hydrating, and prevents those little cracks you can get in your fingers this time of year. All right, well, I'm going to do a little bit more reading and head to bed. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see what it brings. Well, good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning, and it's about 6:30 in the morning. Royce is still sleeping. I just got up and went outside, check on the tent and everything. Wind is starting. The weather is coming in. I just read the weather advisory online, and it looks like we're in for a really doozy of a storm. You can see the wind's already starting there. So today they're calling for 10 to 20 centimeters of snow with blowing wind up to 80 kilometers an hour. So it said that travel will be very difficult, especially this afternoon, with blowing snow, hazardous conditions. So that's why I'm up super early. I'm gonna get my breakfast going here soon. Letting the fire dampen down. You know, with the wood I brought, I only have 3 pieces of hardwood left, so that's pretty good. And I've got a bag of like smaller kindling and stuff. So lots of extra wood. You know, I shouldn't probably ration that first night at -20, but hey, what are you gonna do? You never know, right? So when I went out and checked on the tent, we had a visitor last night to the campsite, and I'll show you when I go back outside again when it's a little bit lighter out. But we saw there's lots of tracks on the road. Looked like fishers, you know, walking like kind of lolloping along in pairs down the road, and a fox came in to check out our campsite. So it actually went around the back of the tent beside Royce, and I don't know, I kind of lost the tracks. It's still dark out, I can't really tell where it went. At one point in the night, Royce suddenly kind of sat up and kind of looked, and he looked sort of like, there he is right there. He looked kind of over here, and I thought I heard something too, and so I kind of sat up. And I wonder if that was it walking through. It didn't look like it was coming around to like get food or anything. I think it was just kind of coming through. Like there's tons of tracks all of these campsites. Like I think animals just, they live here, it's their home too, right? And I'm kind of in the middle of their pathway. So it looked like it just had kind of come in. It went off, but I'll see where it went. But it's not like it went and like walked around the perimeter of the tent or walked up the tent door or something like that. It just kind of was coming through. So just goes to show you there is wildlife around. There's no bears this time of year, which is nice, except that guy. There are coyotes and foxes and things, but what I saw here, this thing wasn't a habituated animal like coming in to like disturb us in the tent or anything. And he sort of sat up, and I'm pretty sure Royce has his scent marked all around the campsite, so it's not like it was gonna try its luck, because that wouldn't have ended very well for it. And my tent probably been jiggling mess with the dog trying to get out after it. So I told him to kind of settle down. Like when I saw he kind of sat up, because I thought, oh, this is not going anywhere good. I'm not going to have him go into full-on attack mode unless something actually tries to get in the tent. Like I don't want him to try to punch through the wall or something like that. So I'm just trying to like organize my gear. I did a little bit last night too, so it makes it for a quicker exit this morning. But with what I hear coming in that wind, and yeah, we're just not going to be here that long this morning. It's unfortunate. I've been here, this will be my 4th day here, my 3rd night, which is amazing. It's such a beautiful trip. Yeah, it was great, but honestly, safety first. So I'll let this guy sleep in a little while longer as I just start nibbling on some breakfast, and then we'll start packing the car. It shouldn't be too bad. I mean, the putting up the stuff is the worst, obviously, because you're trying to figure out where to put the tent and figure out, where everything goes. Now it's just like fold up stuff and stuff it in the car and get out of here. So, and then it's easy checkout. You just drive away kind of thing. So, yeah, let's get going. Well, I thought I'd get tired of this breakfast, but nope, it is really good, and it has fueled me on this trip, so have it again, make my eggs after. Where he smells the food, and so he's like starting to stir in his bed. So out on a little walk with the dog this morning, a short one. Ooh, lots of little trail. I think these are probably pine marten tracks. Ooh, well, the dog's on top of them, but anyway. There's lots of marten in this section of the woods. We got some really awesome footage of one. Take a look at this clip.
Welcome back.
And I also got Gray Jay footage, so here's another clip. I just love how their little leg bands, because they're banded here, how they just jingle when they fly away. It's really, really cool. We'll keep our eyes peeled for wildlife this morning. Yeah, there's some tracks. Jeez, Royce just lots of tracks through here. We've got some fresh tracks right here. It's probably a marten walking down this trail. take a look down there. Center of the screen looks like a big cave almost. Makes you wonder if that's like a bear's hibernating or something. And guess who's not going down there to check it out? Me. Anyway, very cool. Maybe that is something down there. Wow. Alright, so that totally was a bear den. How cool! I was not getting close enough to see inside, but yeah, that's amazing. I know there's actually there's a sign up there, actually not very far from where that den was, that said "Be Bear Alert." So I think the parks know that there's a bear in that area. Obviously, there's no tracks out of it because, you know, it's hibernating right now. But wow, what a cool find! I think I actually saw another den yesterday on our hike there towards the falls. There was sort of a cavitated area, and everything looked really melted and warm around the entrance to it. So that usually tells me there was an animal in there and it's, you know, hanging out there. Kind of reminds me of the time I found that coyote den hiking deep in the woods, and you could find multiple entrances and stuff like that. Yeah, I wasn't gonna get too close to this one either because you know, obviously everything was kind of melted out and warm, and it was like freezing cold the other day. So yeah, some animal was in there and that was its little home. So yeah, I'll say all in all, this has been an awesome trip. Some challenges along the way with the weather and stuff like that, but great hiking, beautiful scenery. Wow, my love for Algonquin Park has just grown by 1,000% with this trip. All right, back at the tent, and here are the tracks that came in overnight. I actually think it was a marten. Like, look how close those tracks are together. And that would explain why it kind of, see, it walked over here. There's the tent. Oh yeah, there's another one came through here. It went all the way over there. I think it probably jumped up on a tree. That's why it disappeared. Neat. So probably when Roy sat up, it just leaped up in the tree and scrambled away. And I didn't hear it much because of the tarp over the tent. I tell you, these tent pegs were a godsend from Amazon. They look like this, and they're really great for winter camping situations. Now, of course, I did bring these stakes as well, and they were very useful when there was thickly packed snow, but in areas where it was a little bit thin, those other stakes worked really well. Quick little PSA, you can see in these little camp stoves, a lot of creosote is building up, so please make sure every few days you are cleaning this out, if not more frequently. So thank you guys so much for coming along with me on this epic adventure. I hope you guys have a great week and stay safe on the trails. Bye for now.